Welcome to For Real. It's time to communicate and get real about relationships with your host, Liesel, Daisley, and psychologist, Krisnan. So join us for real. Hello and welcome to For Real, your favorite relationship talk show. I'm your host, Liesel Daisley, and joining me once again is our psychologist and life coach, Krisnan. Welcome, Krisnan.
Oh, thank you, Liesel. I feel so warm and welcome today.
It's such a pleasure to have you as always. I think we're going to have to introduce you now as our resident psychologist and life coach.
I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome, viewers. We hope that this topic today interests you. It's a topic that everybody should be interested in. It's on dating, and at some point all of us have dated in our lifetime. So our first question, considering that we are living in a Western world, in a Western society, what exactly is dating? So we're going to start off easy.
All right, so dating is a relatively new concept. Probably 150 years ago, it didn't exist.
I agree.
So you were either in a relationship, whether it was before marriage, or you were and preparing for marriage,
right,
going in the direction of marriage, or you were married, or you were not dating.
Single,
basically.
Yes, still under your father's roof, under your father's care.
Yeah, at least single.
Yeah,
for sure. So dating is a relatively new concept, and I think that our modern world has categorized things, and dating is one of those things. So it's almost as though there are tiers to relationship. You are single, not relating, so to speak. You are dating, which is pre-relationship.
Yes.
And then there is, you are in a relationship, and then you are sometimes engaged and then married.
Yeah.
Dating is that stage where you are getting to know each other, and you are not necessarily in a relationship, not necessarily in an exclusive relationship, but you're getting to know stage. Years ago, they would call it courting.
Right. I was just gonna ask you, so what's the difference between dating and courting? Because some people, confuse the two. So maybe you could clarify it for us.
I think courting was more so when you were in a relationship, going towards preparing for marriage, going towards marriage, not yet engaged,
right,
but in a relationship going towards marriage.
Yes.
While nowadays dating is just getting to know somebody. So what happens is that people see themselves as dating, but different people have different concepts. It's some sort of like the conversation about love that we had previously.
Yes.
Different people have different definitions of it, but by and large, dating is that stage where you are just getting to know somebody, but you're not exclusive, you're not in a relationship.
And as you mentioned earlier, it was not always done this way. There was a time when once you are spoken for, that's pretty much it. You are going towards marriage. So dating is a fairly new concept. And I think we in the Western world take it quite casually as well. Yeah, because there are all these dating apps, dating sites, dating reality shows. It seems to be an in thing now, this dating thing. And people are dating multiple persons as well on these dating apps. I guess trying to find that right one. Yeah,
for sure. And one of the misconceptions and expectations that people have is that nowadays people think that when you're dating, you are exclusive. So some people have the understanding or the belief that dating means we are in a pre-relationship.
Right.
And others think, well, I can date as many people as I want. I can see as many people as I want. I can get to know as many people as I want.
Yeah.
So I think those involved in the dating dynamic, in the dating relationship, so to speak, those getting to know each other should be clear about what their expectations are.
Yeah.
So that there is no misunderstanding and people have the right to do what they see as appropriate according to what they agree that they are involved in at this stage in time.
Now, since dating is a new concept, let's say the last 250 years, what would be some of the downfalls or challenges of dating?
Well, people tend to get very, very emotionally and physically attached in the dating process. So, whereas before you would be in a, well, depending on your philosophy, of course, and your belief system, but people would tend to leave sexual activity until when they're in the relationship.
Or married.
Or married. Whereas nowadays, people tend to get involved in sexual activity even if it isn't intercourse. There's also, again, as I mentioned before, the misconceptions of exactly what is it. Is it a pre-relationship? Is it a relationship? Are we exclusive or not?
Yeah.
So there are those misunderstandings.
The lines are blurred.
The lines are blurred for sure. So that people are very clear. Some people see dating as a relationship, like a pre-relationship, where you're exclusive, and others don't, where you can date as many people as you want.
Right.
Another downfall in dating is people think that because we're dating, we are going into a relationship. So people can get heartbroken because they have built up expectations that this is the one. Oh, I chose this person,
right?
And the person hasn't really chose them. So then you can tend to feel like, rejected. And also, if you see the other person out with somebody else, or hear that they're talking to somebody else, they're like, you're cheated.
Right.
You've cheated, but we're not in an official relationship. We're not exclusive.
Yes.
Again, that's why we need to be very, very clear about what our meaning is.
And since dating is a new concept, how long should this go on for before people decide that they're going to commit to a relationship or commit to a marriage? Because technically dating is not a relationship, yes?
Technically it's not a relationship.
Right, so how long should people date? Is there a time frame?
There's no time frame. As long as they think they need to get to know the person. But of course you're communicating along the way to establish intentions. And intentions, again, is not relationship, so must be clear about that. Intentions does not mean that you have reserved the person for use for later, right? Intentions mean I am very interested in you, but someone else may come along and I may choose somebody else.
Okay.
Right? So that really should be clear as well.
So 5 years later, and you might still choose somebody else?
Well, if one of the parties thinks that they are willing to make the next step, they should make it known. I want to be in a relationship. I want to start an exclusive, official, formal relationship, so to speak.
Right.
So establish your, not just your intentions, but your status, and be clear so that both people have the same opinion.
Okay.
Right. So that if one person says I am not in a relationship with you, the other person can't say, well, you are in a relationship. Right? It takes two hands to clap.
It is true. It is true. Now I want to ask you something that not necessarily a bit off topic, but it's all related to dating. Does passion and chemistry equal compatibility?
Oh, very, very good question. Passion is about interest, strength or intensity of the feelings, of the magnetism, of the interest. But passion does not mean that you are going to stay together, first of all.
Yes.
Because you can feel very strongly about a person today, and those feelings can change after a situation occurs, or after you get to know them some more. And so passion does not necessarily mean that it will last forever, and it also does not mean that there is commitment.
Yeah.
You can see somebody and be very, very much infatuated in them or with them, and it does not necessarily mean that there's any connection at all.
Yeah.
Just interest.
Okay.
I'll just repeat the other part of the question.
Does it equal compatibility, that passion and that chemistry that you might feel with someone else? Does chemistry equal compatibility?
Well, no, it doesn't, because as you get to know the person, then you kind of get to understand what their way of life is, their belief system, their values, how they live from day to day, how they carry themselves, how they keep their space, the type of company and friends they have, what their interests are. And because you are interested, feel connected, or have a level of passion for that person, does not mean that they can work out. Because you might find that there are things about that person that might really cause them to no longer be an option. Like maybe, God forbid, they're abusive, or you don't like the way they speak to you. They don't respect or agree with the things that you like or respect or agree with, so that your beliefs or your values are not compatible. And then you realize that because you're interested in the person at first doesn't mean that it will work out.
Yeah.
Or have strong feelings does not mean it will work out.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of For Real. It was such a pleasure having you, and we hope that you got some interesting tidbits on dating. Remember to share this link with your friends so that they too can benefit from all this wisdom and all this knowledge that you heard here today from Krisnan. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to welcoming you next time on our episode of For Real.